Dragon's Dogma 2 is getting a DLC. Not only that, but also 2 major updates prior to the Dark Arisen expansion. If you told me that a few months before the announcement, I would have reported you to your local authorities for online bullying. Making fun of someone else's hopes and dreams is not cool, alright? Just look at Bloodborne fans. But here we are. And the pendulum is now back to the Dragon's Dogma 2 glazing territory. And this is my territory. With all the little info that we have, I can already confidently state that this DLC is better than the first Dark Arisen. And hold on, I know the first Dark Arisen is sacred to you all, just hear me out. I'll touch more on the DLC itself in a moment, but I'm just gonna say this. The best thing a Dragon's Dogma DLC could do is improve the base game experience. And even though Dark Arisen follows the same structure of the first Dragon's Dogma DLC, it's in the fucking title, I mean, come on. It has a major difference though. New hairstyles and tattoos. No, it's Lost Relics. This is the first time when a new expansion directly addresses the problems with the base game, rather than tries to overwrite it with new additional content. DD1 Dark Arisen is great, it adds ton of replayability and content for the late game. But are we gonna ignore the fact that the base game kinda sucks content-wise? Don't get me wrong, I love Dragon's Dogma 1, but just look how empty the base game is. Like, it's not good that you have to skip half of the game to get to the good part. And listen, I'm not trying to downplay the base game, it has its own charm, it's the bones that make Dragon's Dogma the game we love, and there were a lot of different reasons for the game to turn out the way it did. I had a whole spiel about that in my recent Dragon's Dogma video, go watch it after this one, I'll put the link in the description, you'll like it. Or no, I don't know, you tell me. All I'm trying to say is that it wouldn't have hurt if together with the Bitter Black Isle expansion they fill the base game with more content. And that's what I appreciate about the Dark Arisen 2. They're adding 12 completely unique dungeons to the base game that take from 30 minutes to an hour to explore. That's dope. Dragon's Dogma 2 exploration is not perfect, but it's one of the game's strongest suits if you play without YouTube guides, of course. Yes, I'm looking at you. Now tell me in the comments, why did you search for all answers for Sphinx riddles? Why would you ruin that for yourself? I love me some holy shit what did I find moments, and we'll have more of that 2 years after the release. That's awesome. That literally makes me want to start a new playthrough just to find these dungeons. Based on the screenshots we have and Lost Relics description, these are 12, and I know I repeat that, but these are 12 uniquely designed dungeons with new loot to find. I don't even mind if enemies there are slightly reskinned versions of monsters from the base game. And since I've started talking about the improvement of the base game experience, I can't ignore major updates, so let's quickly go over the most important ones. 3 save slots. In my Dragon's Dogma game, that game has such an amazing character creator, it's a crime we didn't get that feature earlier. Now, the only thing is, I wonder if you can hire your own pawns from different characters. 6 skill slots. I mean, that's one of the most requested changes from the community, and all vocations now are even more OP. Wink wink. So yeah, can't wait to see what Warfera could do. Eternal Fairy Stone. Glad they only give it at the very end. This will kill the whole exploration magic, in my opinion. And this might sound unimportant to you, but oh boy, am I happy they added free camera for the photo mode. As a content creator, that is such a cool tool to have. And by the way, speaking of content creators, I recently watched one of the Mighty Mellow videos about how to keep Dragon's Dogma 2 alive for years. In this video, he suggests some ideas for the dev team on, well, how to keep Dragon's Dogma 2 alive for years. Yeah, it's in the fucking title. But I believe there is also another way to do that. A more realistic one, as it doesn't rely on developers, it relies on you and the whole community. Support creators who make Dragon's Dogma content, engage with it, leave comments, encourage YouTube algorithms to push it further. The community needs a place to get together, and YouTube videos is a great place, as it adds new context. Maybe that's a challenge run that you've never thought of, or that's an interesting way to use a weapon, or secrets that you've never even seen in Dragon's Dogma 2. It adds new context, encourages players to share their experiences. I'm not so active on Reddit, so maybe that's the thing there. And content on YouTube is a way for me to engage in these community discussions. This is how a lot of games are still alive, even with no updates from the devs. Skyrim might be the best example. Occasionally, I just have this feeling that I have to come back to Skyrim after seeing one video. But also Elden Ring, Monster Hunter, Baldur's Gate 3, you name it. They don't rely on developers to provide more content, they create and engage with that content themselves. Hell, you guys have been doing that for years with Dragon's Dogma 1, shout out to the goats. But coming back to Dark Arisen 2, considering what we've seen so far, I don't think the DLC will drastically change the game. So if you were not happy with the way Dragon's Dogma 2 handles its exploration, story or content, I don't think that Dark Arisen 2 will change your opinion on the game, as it'll expand and build upon what already exists. More skills, more items. I wouldn't be so positive on a lot of new enemy types, but we'll see, maybe. Have you seen that? That's already 10 out of 10 DLC for me just because of that climbing assist from the pond. I know I will enjoy the DLC. As for you, I think you're most likely to enjoy it if A, you like the base game and now you just have more content, which is awesome, right? That's my case. Or B, you liked the game but were disappointed in the end game, as it didn't provide you enough content to enjoy that end game, and Unmoored World, Unmoored, how do you pronounce that? Unmoored World was too abrupt and uncalled for. We'll see. And I might have a chance to play it early if they have a demo at Gamescom. So don't forget to subscribe and maybe even drop your questions or suggestions on what I should pay attention to, and I'll do my best to check it. And don't forget to watch other stuff too. See ya.